Hello everybody, this is Yoko Cinema Reactions, and this is going to be my review for episodes 22 and 23. I had to think for a second because I'm trying to get at least season 1 uploaded before I go to work tonight. And that is, I gotta be getting ready for work about 4:15, because I normally have to come into work around 4:45. Anyway, yeah! This episode! I've already picked out the thumbnail for this episode, and you guys obviously can see it. Anyway, she's not doing good. She's passed out with a fever. And they were going to ask her parents to come in and help her, but it wouldn't get there in time. So they have to delay the concert, while they try and figure this out. And we find out that the reason Kurumu is doing, or Clara, whatever her name is doing all this is because she wanted her parents to essentially say that they are proud of her. Because she always got a whole, let's do better on her school stuff, and she wanted essentially a, you did great, or something like that on it. And that's why she pushed herself so hard, and she can't get too emotional or stressed out, or this will happen, essentially. And, in the end, she finally ends up waking up, and goes to see what's going on, because she, essentially, the concert should be going on at this point. And we find out that, while she was out, they were trying to figure out what to do, and Clara, I think it was Clara, offered the idea of them going on stage and stalling out the concert, essentially, until she woke up. And at first they were kind of joking, but Clara pulled out the outfits and the wig for Iruma. I think it was a wig, because I think her hair was longer, like a girl's. Anyway, she sees them on stage and she's like, huh? And I was like, please don't tell me they're gonna do that, because I actually had that thought that maybe they might do that when that happened. I was like, don't tell me he's doing it. And yeah, they are performing for the audience, and the audience is loving it. And when Kurumu finally comes out, dressed in how she usually dresses, they do a duet. Her and Iruma do a duet. And the audience loves it. And nobody is any of the wiser on what happened. The Armory kind of suspects something's up. Anyway, we find out later that her family did come to help them. Or did come to help fix her, and that's why she woke up so early. And they had actually asked them to stay and watch the concert, but they were like, no, we can't. And the reason for that is because they might end up getting too worked up and end up with a fever as well, so they figured they'd do it at home, where they could cheer her on from the sidelines. So yes, they do watch the concerts, which is reassuring. And everybody at school the next day is talking about the new Dem Doll group that popped up on stage during the concert, and the guy who's always going after the girls, he says, they were amazing, but I don't feel any sort of attraction to them like I normally would, which confuses him. And I'm like, oh dear God, that would have been weird for him to find out that it was actually Iruma, and then I'm like, what am I doing? Am I actually into guys? Thankfully, nobody figures it out, except, like I said, Omri's got her suspicions, because she's not stupid. And later, we find out that, Clara and Az are wanting to both make a meal for Iruma. And, yeah, they kind of go a little bit overboard, competing with each other to make the best meal for him. Both the meals apparently tasted good, but apparently combining them made them taste even better. And, I don't remember if it was this episode or was that it's season 2 where he had the friends over. No, that was season 2. Okay. Anyway, he ends up in such a good mood going to bed that night. And then the next day, I assume it was the next day right after that whole thing. And his grandpa goes in and wakes him up. Not a good idea, because apparently Iruma is in his evil cycle. Which makes no freaking sense whatsoever, because, 1, he's a human. He can't have an evil cycle. And I know how it happened, obviously, because I've seen the whole of season 2. But, yeah, at the time, I didn't know. I was like, what the heck? It makes no sense, because, like I said, he's human. He can't have an evil cycle. 2, even if he was a demon, evil cycles normally happen when the demon gets too stressed out and starts having dark and violent thoughts, and that's when their evil cycle starts up. So I'm guessing it's not a one-time thing, so Iruma could end up going through this more than once, actually. Thanks to what caused the whole thing in the first place, which I'm not going to mention because that's season 2. So, yeah, like I said, it made no sense as to how that happened, because he was in such a good mood that night before he went to bed. He was not stressed out at all. So it made no sense. Anyway, I hope you guys are eager for season 2. I'll get started on that tomorrow.